I'm Dr. Nicole Burt, and I am here at the Health Lab in the Cleveland Museum of Natural History, and I'm in charge of human health and evolutionary medicine at the museum. Evolutionary medicine is a relatively new field where we apply the ideas of evolution to health, which really means rather than just looking at why you get sick and how you get sick together. And it's a really exciting field. My specific specialty is in biological anthropology, and biological anthropology is the study of both the biological aspects of being human with the cultural aspects of being human. And you combine those, and that's how we adapt to our environment. And so the biggest impact on our health is how we can balance our genetics and that biology with our cultural interventions, what we eat, what we choose to do with our lives. So for me, that was just always fascinating. It sounds really straightforward when I say it here, but you can have different interests and study different things and still become a scientist who can use all those different techniques and skill sets that you learn. When I was starting my career in health and looking for opportunities, I cold called a coroner and just said, "Can I work with you? I'm really interested in this." And that ended up being the stepping stone for me moving on and getting my master's degree, and probably drove me to get my PhD. So it's always good to ask and just seek out unusual opportunities. My specific research focuses on breastfeeding and weaning, and I look at mothers and infants and what they eat and how they feed, and a lot of choices go into that. And I work in modern Canada and Cleveland, but also in medieval Britain. And how I actually do this is we use stable isotope analysis, and isotopes are different variations of elements that are found naturally in the environment. And we can study these using a mass spectrometer, which actually you can tell heavier isotopes from lighter isotopes, which means we know those are naturally abundant in the world. So we test them, and then we test them in the diet that you might eat, and we test them in your body, and we can compare and see what you're eating. And this is true of breast milk as well. So you can see when infants are being breastfed as opposed to eating other foods. And so for teeth, which a lot of my research focuses on, I take deciduous teeth, longitudinally section them. So we cut off a tooth just like this. This is much bigger. Baby teeth are teeny tiny. But we start at the crown, so the part of the tooth that you can see will start forming actually fetally. So while your mom is pregnant with you, your teeth start forming. And then it forms incrementally down the tooth all the way to the root, which is the part you can't see, which holds it into your jaw. And so we'll actually take this and I'll demineralize half of the tooth, and we take punch samples straight down the tooth following the growth. So what I can do is I can track each child's changing diet. And so you can see how their life began in the diet, and then if they were breastfed, how long they were breastfed, when they switched to weaning foods, what foods they might have eaten. And you can see then by analyzing other parts of their life if it had a positive or negative effect on their health. And what we end up with also are these cool slides where you can actually put this under polarized light, and we can find when birth happens. So at the time of birth, growth stops in the tooth, and you can identify that and use it to collect samples so that we know what we're looking at. If you're interested in health or in the science of health, I hope you contact a teacher or someone that you think does this really interesting research, and you contact them and see if you can get involved. At the museum, we run programs like our junior medical camp and other educational programs that people can get involved with. We always have new gallery experiences and things that you can learn more about health and science. And Cleveland, of course, is an amazing city for health. So go out there and find people to help you find your passion in health.